Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today let's take a look at the Smith Wesson Model 25.5, chambered in .45 Colt. Like the Model 57 chambered in .41 Remington Magnum and the Model 29 chambered in .44 Remington Magnum, this Model 25 is another one of Smith Wesson's larger in-frame revolvers. Big bore revolver cartridges require larger handguns to fire them in, and the .45 Colt is most definitely in the big bore class of cartridges. For scale, let's do a simple side-by-side comparison. From left to right, we have a .41 Magnum, a .44 Magnum, and a .45 Colt cartridge. The .45 Colt is the only one that's not a Magnum. In spite of it being the largest round in the lineup, it's also the most pleasant one to shoot. My journey with Smith & Wesson in-frame revolvers started in the early 1970s. At that time, the Model 29 was the revolver to buy. Nevertheless, thanks to Hollywood and the movie Dirty Harry, a shortage of Model 29 suddenly occurred. Therefore, I opted to buy a Model 57 and .41 Magnum. Some time ago, I actually started out to do a formal review of my Model 29. But I sort of got sidetracked into producing a video describing the things that happened in my life before I finally acquired one. No one has been more surprised to me to see that that particular video now has nearly 750,000 views. I'll leave a link to that video down below for those of you interested. Back in the 1980s, I got my first chance to fire a Model 25.5, and I absolutely loved it. I found that I could shoot this big old revolver all day long without dealing with the harsh recoil associated with a Magnum. Hand loads loaded with Keystyle 250 grain bullets, traveling around 800 feet per second, are an absolute pleasure to shoot, and unbelievably accurate. The .45 Colt cartridge has been around since the latter part of the 1800s. It started out as a black powder cartridge and eventually transitioned into the smokeless powder cartridge we know today. The .45 Colt was one of several cartridges originally designed to be fired in the 1873 Colt Peacemaker, also known as the Colt Army Revolver. That said, a cowboy was once asked why he carried a .45 Colt. His answer was because Sam Colt doesn't make a .46. Many years ago, a friend and I decided to go to an indoor range. And when we got there, there were a number of shooters already on the firing line, happily blasting away with their 9mm and .38 specials. Well, he pulled out his Model 25.5, loaded it up, and handed it to me. When I'd finished firing all 6 rounds, I suddenly noticed how quiet things had gotten. I started looking around and noticed a number of them staring at me. As it turns out, I guess they weren't all that used to someone firing a big bore revolver in their midst. Thankfully, nobody complained. In fact, a few of the younger guys came over and wanted to know what the heck we were shooting. We actually had a really nice conversation about the Model 25. I think the biggest holy crap moment came when they compared a 9mm round to a .45 Colt round. The size difference was almost shocking. Yes, it's a big cartridge, but like I said, it's not a Magnum. All said and done, I think there was some real interest peaked in big bore revolvers before we left that day. I guess by now you've realized that this isn't a formal review, but a bit of nostalgia and some personal history with a gun that I truly enjoy owning and shooting. If any of you would actually like to see a detailed review of the Model 25.5, let me know in the comment section below and I'll set that up. You know, I haven't come to any conclusions yet, but it seems to me that revolvers are slowly making a comeback in popularity. Then again, it just might be my wishful thinking. Only time will tell. Until next time, practice often, shoot straight, and thanks for stopping by.